Did you know for the anime, the Dandadan, there was 2 trailers out. One is called the romance version, and one is called the occult version. The romance version is literally just Okarun and Momo pining for each other. Like, I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to talk to him. Man, I really want to talk to him. I gotta see Miss Ayase. And the occult version is so butt wild crazy. It just shows all the spirits and paranoia you're gonna see in the anime. So imagine someone coming in from the romance trailer and seeing the testicle battles.
That being the first thing they see.
First thing they see, losing
There's a third trailer. It just came out.
Do you know what that one's called?
You know I don't watch trailers.
Well, you shouldn't have brought it up. Hi, I want your banana, Annie.
I want your consent for your banana, Minty.
And this is FunUntitled, where we serve every podcast with an FU. Now, I just want to say, getting to Dandadan, because I don't know if we said that in our episode that we talked about the manga, go check it out. I only read the Dandadan because so many people on Twitter said, just get past the first chapter, man. It gets so much better after chapter 1.
Get past a few chapters.
And for the main reason why I didn't watch Undead Unluck, because like the first chapter is horrendous.
But they retcon it.
They retcon it to be romantic. Shut up.
They don't do that for the Dandadan.
Nah, we don't gotta. So I'm very excited the anime is coming out because it really does make manga better.
It's really good. Like what we've seen, because they made out a movie with the first 3 episodes, it's so good. Like I wonder if now like the standard is animes are gonna be good unless it's by like A1.
Shots fired. Pew, 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 pew.
Look, they only have one style, but I was supposed to look up who did the Dandadan, but I don't remember who.
Cloverworks.
What else did they do?
If I remember correctly, I believe they did the Elusive Samurai.
Oh, I need another example besides Lucian. Lucian is also very good.
See, I believe they were the studio it was created just to animate the Promised Neverland.
Really?
Something like that. Don't quote me. I know they did Promised Neverland, Spy Family. They did Millionaire Detective.
Which I haven't seen yet, which I should because 2 hot memories.
Don't do it. I only watched it because I really liked the opening. That was back then when I used to watch a lot of that Studio Uraki. So I really liked the cover on Millionaire Detective. Then they got into that lawsuit and I don't know what they're doing now.
So if you watch the movie, they start with an interview with the creator, the editor, the voice actors, and the anime director.
Honestly, if the anime director's like, I take a lot of influence from movies, I'm automatically giving you this anime's gonna be GOAT. Because that's what the Chainsaw Man director did.
Is that why the opening's the way it is?
The Dandadan opening or the Chainsaw?
No, the Chainsaw Man opening, yeah.
I think that's because the creator himself said that he's a big fan of movies.
Oh, gotcha. The interview was okay. Yeah, but I just like the art director. How he was talking about, like, since high school, he's been trying to make, like, cool scenes, even though, like, in the grand scheme of it, that scene would not work with other scenes.
I think as an artist, it's so cool. He has a whole book of really cool compositions that throughout the years. See, that what sucks is that I really want to be a good director and all that jazz, but you have to really consume a lot of media. But there's some media I don't want to consume. I don't want to watch Child's Play.
Well, you gotta watch media that has good directing, right?
That's true.
Like, you're not gonna watch, like, White Chick and try to, like, figure out how to do it better.
There was a YouTuber that got canceled a long time ago. I forget her name, but basically, she would give videos teaching people how to draw, but she admitted several times that, like, she watched one anime from the 90s, and then she didn't want to ruin her perception of how anime should look like, so she swore off all animes after that. And it's like, you can't grow as an artist if you don't consume new media.
But why would that get you canceled?
She got canceled for other reasons, like
okay.
she gave health wellness tips, and because she's like, my sister is a gym instructor, and she told you all your food should be frozen, and you just throw up once in a while. If you're throwing up, that's fine.
To me, if you hear that and you believe it, that's on you, man.
It's not an eating disorder if you don't do it after every meal. And then she liked FMA. I think that's the one anime that she liked after the 90s.
Oh.
But she didn't want to draw alphonse, so she always told you just trace it.
Jesus Christ.
It's like, you can't give an art tutorial video about how to trace.
Anyways, back to the Dandadan, because Annie loves to go on tangents. So we go into the opening of the Dandadan, which is okay.
It's like the Spy X Family opening one, and now that I know that Cloverwork, they did both, it makes sense.
The song is okay, and it's kind of artsy, but it's like, there's no substance, there's no impact. People said it was really good, but from what I've seen, like, it's okay. Not Elusive Samurai good.
So I like Creepy Nuts, right? They sang the song and they did the MASH opening. And I love the fact the song is basically just dun da dun dun da dun dun da dun.
It is nice that they seem to make music specifically for the show.
Yes.
I don't know if all of them do that.
But yes, it is no Elusive Samurai, Cloverworks. I know you can perform better. I just don't like these simple silhouettes. It just seems lazy to me.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter because they have little icons of little monsters.
Oh, okay.
And you use that for the game UI, not for a whole fucking opening. Like, I believe, like, the only really nice scene was, like, Okuran running. But am I crazy? Was this a scene where they were all kind of dancing to the song?
I don't remember. It was a long opening with nothing happening. I know there was background scenes, but there's no character in it, so I was like, I don't care.
I don't know why. Spoilers for the manga. It's weird seeing only Ira and Gigi.
Honestly, I don't think they should have had Gigi. That arc is so long, there's no way it's in season 1.
So, openings just whatever, interviews whatever. I did not know Momo was supposed to be a Garu though.
So I was reading up on Garu because I also could not believe that. Do you know what the English translation of that word is?
Delinquent girl?
Gal.
Oh.
G-A-L. I was like, oh, this is what I think. Because when I was reading it, Garu is basically big hair, big makeup, bold Western outfit. So I'm just like, did Japan just fall in love with American 80s fashion and decide to call it Garu?
What's hard is that the definition of Garu I know is from Case Clothes. It's like from the 90s, right? So it's always supposed to be bleach hair, tan skin, and makeup that makes your eye look bigger.
Right.
AKA Momo's weird friend.
Yes.
So like, oh, I guess you don't need all that makeup as long as you're like a rough gal.
I guess it's evolved, right? To be more like it's an attitude more than it is like a fashion statement.
So we read all the manga chapters of Dandadan so far, but like I think it's about 150, I want to say.
Yes, yeah.
So going back to seeing how it was in the beginning is buck wild. Cause I did not realize Momo got her ass beat in scene 1.
That is a rough way to start. But it's kind of a good way to start because I'm sick of the whole shivery thing. Like if you do it right, that's fine, but most don't.
It really established Momo's character too. Like she doesn't put out, you know, she's like she fights for what she thinks is right when she protected Okuran.
She kicks ass, but also has weird obsessions.
She walks bow-legged for some reason. The animation in the first episode is crazy. Like, they put so much personality in them just walking down the hall.
When she's talking to Okra and she's kind of bouncing around.
Yeah.
It's like so smooth, so like jelly.
In the interview, it's like when you get the voice actors, he wanted to sway from like detestable to likable. And I was like, is Okuran supposed to be detestable? All I've seen him was lovable. And then I was like, oh wait, he was kind of a dipshit in the beginning.
He is kind of still a dipshit, but in like a lovable way because the best thing about the Dandadan, besides the anime having such great animation and it's very artsy in a cool way. Some of the scenes are too artsy though. Like when they're walking home.
Yeah.
And then it's like imagine the screen's basically black except one little square and it's a far away image of them walking. Like it's a little too artsy for me.
What was your point you're supposed to get at?
Hold on. I'm circling back around.
This is why you are a noob at the ADHD conversation. I am the expert.
Oh, because I want to talk about Monster Hunter and Cloverfield. Cloverfield should be in the Dandadan.
Anyway,
you know how fucked up that would be.
But yeah, it's very artsy and like the color choices. Do you like the color choices?
I do like the color choices, and the thing that I was trying to get back to is that the best thing about the Dandadan is the dialogue.
Oh yes, 100%.
So that's why like these characters are fully fleshed out because Okuran is still a nerd and Momo is still a Garu girl, but they have so much dimension to them. And like if he says something mean, it doesn't take away the fact that he's a nerd.
Man, Momo's voice actor is like it kind of goes fast, but even if you don't understand what's going on, I think you can enjoy it. And I was like, what a weird thing. I never thought the Dandadan was fast. Then I watch it, like, oh my god, it's fast. It's Turbo Granny speeds here.
I mean, yeah, to me it was always a fast-paced kind of series. But like Fire Force to me is like boom, boom, boom. The Dandadan is more like it's fast, but it's in a different way because it does slow down with like these like cute conversations that characters have. Because like it's plot related, but it's also like character development. So it's very easy to fall in love with the characters of the Dandadan.
So yeah, so we meet our main characters and the whole premise, right? Like, oh, I believe in ghosts, not aliens. Well, I believe in aliens, not ghosts. Alright, so you go to this haunted tunnel, I'll go to this building where UFOs come and abduct people, and we'll see who's right. And I love the part when they're on the phone, they're talking to each other, and like, you have a lot of really cool cinematic shots, and it's all scary because you see the Serpo Man in the background.
They made that hospital background so detailed, like crazy details, and it was like it was almost like a fully fleshed out location.
And it's weird because that's the first time where it kind of hits you with the feels with Momo talking about her past, like, oh, I don't have parents, but I love my grandma.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh god, I wasn't ready for that. Oh, and shit hit the fan. God, I love the fact that they sacrificed reality to make a really good fucking image. Because I love that the phone went red when Okurun got attacked.
Yes, I noticed that too. Yeah, it was like danger.
So when we was watching Jujutsu Kaisen, was Yuji versus Chozo?
Yes.
They were fighting with a bunch of neon lights in the background, so for the most part they were dark, but they had like a neon rim light.
Right.
I actually hated that.
Oh.
Because I hated the fact it just was there to look pretty.
Right.
But like, there wasn't any like color theory really, because like sometimes Chizo would be blue, sometimes he'd be pink, yada yada.
It's not gonna be Aladdin.
I'm just saying, but in the Dandadan, like, everything's blue, then when it's like danger, it really fucking matters.
When Turbo Granny showed up for Okuran, that was like, whoa. The art director talked about this in the interview, which I actually never even thought about, was that like the adaptation from anime to manga is actually a very difficult translation because some scenes don't translate well because mangas can change the dimensions, but anime is going to be 16:9 no matter what. Animes have color, and the Dana has done well with color and making that work, just like Annie was saying, but not all series.
Not all series.
And some are just lazy.
Yeah, because the director's like, oh, we couldn't make the panels smaller and smaller to make Momo feel like claustrophobic, so we had to do something with the lighting. And it's like, oh, they such a good job you did
That
with
was
the lighting.
cool, yeah. And so Okuran gets possessed,
and-
Momo gets adopted.
Yes, push.
Now look, I'm okay with like sexual scenes. It was just weird to me this one point where all she's doing is lying down, but they make her like body roll. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing?
And then this is a nice touch for Turbo Granny. She's the protector of young girls, so that's why she comes to save Momo technically.
Technically.
Because it's no way Okuman did that on,
No.
by choice.
Right.
This is the point where, like, Okuman / Turbo Granny saving Momo from the supplement, and Okuman's like, oh, please just abduct me. Like, I always wanted a friend. And it reveals that he actually went to this building to try to get abducted several times. And Minzy said that in the movie theater we were at, someone laughed at this scene. And I swear to God, if it was me, I would have shown fucking hands right there.
There's two types of people. There are bullies and then there are non-bullies. If you laughed, you're a bully.
Yeah, 100%. If you don't understand that you wanted friends, I hate to tell you this, I hate you.
If you don't react to it at all, that's fine.
Yes.
But if you react that way, you're a bully.
I forget when Fairy Tail Dragon cried, I was gonna show hands with someone. Like, you had to, like, restrain me so I didn't have to yell at them.
Yeah, but I think it's because they kept talking.
But beautiful scene in the ship, and then I didn't realize the ship was the moon.
Me neither. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a new addition or if we just want to observe it.
It's hard. The first chapter, there's so much happening that I feel like you're still trying to figure out if you even like the series. Because you'll still probably give it a chance by reading chapter 2 and 3. But chapter 1 is so important because that's the main thing that's going to determine if you like it or not.
Man, chapter 1 really could have just been its own standalone one shot, though.
Honestly, it could have if you just don't have the possession.
Yeah.
Or if you like cure the possession.
Yeah, if like Momo could just exercise it.
Yes. So episode 1 was very good.
Oh, but I love the scene where like Ken reveals his name and like the ship explodes in the background. Very Spy family. Don't remember that was in the manga.
It could have. It's an anime, movie, superhero kind of thing to happen, right? So then we go to the second episode. Second episode was my favorite episode. So I think it starts with a good like foreshadow moment because it makes sense because it's the whole thing where like we went Momo's home. We already established Grandma's a medium. And so when Okuran, who has a spirit possessed in him, burns fire because he has an evil spirit on him. So they're like, okay, we're going to take the talisman off so you can come in and we're going to give you some clothes. And then just these moments where you just get to see the characters. It's like you need to set up the characters in these early moments. So when they're just talking to each other, when they're trying to figure out the limits of like what Momo's powers can do for Okuran. It's nice. It's cute. It's domestic. It really like it makes you want to cheer for the characters. And then they do the whole like dun dun. Like, what the fuck is that? I was like, oh well, Grandma always said we always had 2 doorbells, one for humans and one for evil spirits.
It makes you wonder though, if the grandma knows this much about evil spirits, how the fuck did she hide it from Momo this long?
Well, I mean, if you don't believe, then you don't see it, right? And I don't think she had powers until she got adopted. But it's kind of just like the world building is like so there already.
First of all, when Momo's like, oh, this is why you're alone, Okuran, because you keep pushing people away.
I do love that parallelism between the first time she said it to hurt him and then the second time she said it to help him. The first one was like, you're just alone, and the second one was like, I am trying to be your friend, don't push me away. Like I love that parallelism between the 2 moments.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that, but I forgot, so we're just going to move on. I love that the series gave a hint this early that there's going to be a connection between yokai and aliens.
Yeah, I don't remember them saying that this early.
I don't remember this chapter at all.
Oh my god. So once they figure out like it's an evil spirit, they're like, we gotta go, man. But they're already trapped. And in this they could explain maybe a little better, but in this world, when either a yokai or an alien attack, they create like a barrier. They do this in Bleach, right? They create a barrier that...
That's true in the Oh yeah, it is true. Yeah, that was a very important part in the that water arc, that they create a barrier.
Yes, it's also as important in the invasion arc because they're like, oh my god, the barrier is breaking, and once that breaks, then the world's actually gonna get hurt.
Oh, how did I forget that? You know, we've been in Jumanji for so long, you know what I mean?
Yes, well, you're already in your own world.
Yeah.
But so this alien slash yokai, which it could be either because there's a certain theory later on they explain where like yokais are just basically aliens of the earth. And they have different names and beliefs, whatever, right? But he's already trapped them. So they're stuck in this barrier. And he looks... I think he's 3D animated.
He looks good if he's 3D animated.
He does look very good, and because he's not human, it doesn't look weird or it doesn't look out of place. Like if he like looks wonky, it's just to give an eerie feel because he's like a yokai alien.
Oh, I love the fact that it was all black and white, and then the black mist came out of the. I want to call him the New Jersey Devil. I know Okuman called him something like that.
I think Flatwood.
Flatwood Devil. And then he was like, "Oh my god, this is so scary." But then when Okuman gets to unleash his Turbo Granny form, and then that's when the red comes out, I'm like, this is better than JoJo coloring. This is purposeful.
Yeah, JoJo just wants to throw you into LSD.
Yes.
Okuman transform and Annie nuts.
Shut up. And then Momo gets slammed into the wall multiple times. I'm like, holy shit. How did she survive that?
I do wish they said she used her powers, because they don't use the hand metaphor till the third episode. The motion from her going from one creator to the other, too smooth. Unnecessarily smooth. But she does that, and then she grabs Okuman and like, we're outside the barrier now. So burn, bitch.
Oh, real fast. You know when they first got trapped in that domain and she started having a nosebleed and bleeding on the talisman? Creeped me the fuck out.
A little bit, yeah.
When the director's like, the scary thing between Western and Eastern is that in Western, you go somewhere and a scary monster jumps at you. But in Eastern horror stories, you have to kind of stare into the unknown and then, you know, look for see what's there.
That is cool as fuck. It's almost like why video games can be scary, because you kind of go into the darkness, while like movies is like a jump scare, which is getting cheap. FNAF.
Five Nights at Freddy's. Do you think FNAF is so popular you can just say FNAF and everyone knows what that means?
No.
Okay.
Because it's not like Avatar, or it's not timeless like
Titanic.
Yeah, okay. You know what's weird? I was trying to think of what it was called, but I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio. Ship. Rose. Like, I couldn't think of the ship name.
The episode 2 had a crazy cliffhanger where Momo passes out and Okuman becomes Turbo Granny.
Yes.
Then you start with episode 3 with the fake Santa psychic. What?
They never bring up that name.
Well, she gets every psychic prediction wrong. What? How will she save our heroes? By being a fucking badass. That's how.
Her fight with Turbo Granny is so cool.
Oh, hitting the nails. We don't get to see her fight in the manga that often, so I totally forgot that was her ability.
I don't know if we even see her fight at all after this.
This is that go away mission she went with Turbo Granny.
There was one she came as like a Deus Machina.
Yeah.
I think it's for Gigi's art.
But yeah, it's so fucking cool. And like, you know, you gotta love the expert character, right?
Why couldn't Momo have her powers? Wouldn't that just been cooler?
You know what? I didn't know the grandma had the bat powers. I thought she just had psychic powers like Momo.
I remember the bat. I didn't remember it being a pencil. I think I just assumed she like, like a stick with sand, right?
Imagine if that was an anime only thing. Spoiler. In Elusive Samurai, I guess there's an episode / chapter where the priest guy, he has a sex doll, and in the manga, he's kind of just hugging the sex doll, but in the anime, the sex doll is like whipping him, and all the kids are like, what the hell? And his attendant's sobbing because the kids had to look at this. So like, I wonder if this is a Cloverwork anime thing where they elaborate this.
Which can be good or bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because depending on like a small detail in the beginning can have a big impact later.
I always think it's good as long as the author was like in on it. The author said that he was very hands-on with the director.
That could be true.
Kind of like Bleach, right? Like in the new Bleach season, Taikuba said he's gonna add more Renji, Rukia scenes and Orihime Ichigo.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's hard because you know like shows like Soul Eater and Blue Exorcist did not have direction, because otherwise they wouldn't have a season 2 that's totally left field.
Would you count FMA 2003 canon when the author said, I trust this director enough to do whatever the fuck she wants?
I don't count FMA because it wasn't written. And back then, they just kept making episodes. It was only when My Academia came along when they decided we're doing seasons.
Yes.
This is a very American thing. It threw me off at first, but then I realized the benefits of it and thought, yeah, it's better to do seasons.
Oh, could you imagine how shitty KNY would be if it didn't have seasons?
To be fair though, sometimes fillers are fun.
Sometimes fillers are fun.
They can either be Naruto fun or Bleach crappy.
But coming back to the Dandadan, where like, did you think the part where Momo thought Okuran was dead was a little long?
Not only was it a little long, but I thought it was weird where she was like, Grandma's like, oh, he's in the main shrine. And she's like, if anything happens to him, I'll hate you forever. And like, you just apologized to your grandma. And also, your grandma didn't know who he was. All she knew was that he was an evil spirit. Could you really blame her if she did kill him?
Well, if she wasn't a crack psychic who ruined that idol's life.
I'm like, Momo, are you already in love with him?
Oh my god, the grandma being like, so what you want to do? It's like, geez, what would Ken do? And like, you didn't realize, like, yeah, Okuran probably introduced himself as Ken to the grandma.
Yes. That was pretty funny. It was like, think what's a thinker, but it's a good thinking.
God, I'm just an idiot for not realizing the Dandadan was a rom-com.
Yeah, Annie told me that. I'm like, how? How did you not know? Because one, Okuran and Momo are both very much the main character. It's not like Fairy Tail where they say Natsu and Lucy are both the main character when it's really just Natsu. It's really like, I couldn't even pick if it's Momo or Okuran. If I had to pick one, maybe Momo, but you could easily sway me to say Okuran.
It's fine, I'll say the same thing.
Oh, really?
I don't think the series could follow Okuran. I think you can follow the series with Momo. It's kind of like Inuyasha and Kagome, where like, I know you can argue Inuyasha's the main character, but I argue Kagome is more the main character.
You know, I think it's Kagome.
Right? Yeah. So like, I feel like Okuran, yeah, he's the one with like the most impressive powers, but he's like Inuyasha, where like, he doesn't drive the story forward.
Yeah, because like, in the Dandadan, when they split up, you show kind of both of them. You know, actually, no.
No, you show, like,
You show Momo.
yeah, in the Jumanji arc, you show Momo. What do you think they call that arc? The Fairy Tail Demon arc?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's more specific to what you're fighting. It was kind of a spoiler.
It should be called the Jumanji.
The Japanese Jumanji. It's kind of Jumanji.
It's exactly Jumanji.
To me, Jumanji is the world coming to you. You coming to the world is not Jumanji, even though that's what they made Jumanji 2 about. But Jumanji 1, they never go in the world.
Yeah. Except in the anime series.
Okay. I'm only talking about the first Jumanji because that was the only Jumanji I ever seen.
So episode 3 was okay. I just didn't think it was as strong as 1 and 2.
It's cute. It has more domestic scenes. My favorite part was when Okuran's running to the bathroom and I think the grandma's like, Ken Takakura, and Momo just totally just like jumps up, lovey mode, and then she drops to the ground. Like that to me is just like, it was done so it's not unique, but it was done so smooth that I just love it.
Fun fact, in Momo's Room, when you see in the first chapter, she has a poster of Ken Takamura, the actor she liked. But every other time you go to Momo's room, like the time where she has to stay in and not let that ghost in, you see a picture of a UFO.
Ooh.
So, like, go down bad.
Girl got it down bad.
And then they go off to fight Turbo Granny as a cliffhanger, and like, go watch it on Netflix.
If this movie could just have one more episode and end with that, I think it'd be like a perfect anime movie. I mean, to be fair, it's not a real anime movie.
I wonder if they could have gotten away with like really shortening episode 2 and like animating episode 4 and then call it a movie. Like, I'm not saying like for a regular series. I just meant if you had to make it into a standalone movie.
You know, I think it could work because you're still gonna have the anime.
Yeah.
Right? Like the regular episodes. So it's kind of like what they did with Rengoku's movie.
Yeah, they added more scenes.
Yeah. So they could have, but I really like episode 2. So I don't know if I could say I agree with it, but I understand what you're saying because it's more of a complete story. And that's just kind of an extra cute thing.
And you to establish Okuran transforming.
Yes.
Fight that tit.
And have less of that was a ridiculous scene. So then you have the ending.
And everyone who's like, I don't really know the Dandadan, I didn't read the manga, who is this cat? And then not even manga readers really know who this cat is.
How would manga readers not know?
The tiny cat? That's only in the official
extra?
release extras.
What's hard is, like, for Westerners, you may not even know what a Maneki cat is.
Yeah.
So it's like, why?
I like how we both thought it was a mid-ending until the cat started grooving out to the music. And we're like, oh, peak.
Although to be fair, in episode 2, when they go enter Momo's house, they made sure to, the first thing you see is the Maneki.
It's nice touch. God, I know it would have been gross, but in Inuyasha, they have a really nice scene where like you see the entire cast in the Shikan Jewel. Like, the Shikan Jewel rotates and you see different people.
Yes.
They should have done that with the golden testicle.
That's not the same.
I'm just saying, it would have been cool.
Also, I don't know if you know. Well, actually, I guess they did have a golden ball.
Yeah, they
And it was
scratched it. But that's our review for the Dandadan quote-unquote movie. When we talk about the Netflix series, we will be watching the dub, not sub. And, I guess we could do a unique thing of comparing the two.
We're probably gonna watch the sub because the dub's gonna come out a few days later.
No, on Netflix, it comes at the same time, like what we did for Dungeon Meshi.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not like Elusive Samurai and Crunchyroll.
Oh. Ooh, that'll be exciting then.
But I really hope the dub doesn't flub it, because I really don't like the Spy X Family dub.
Yeah.
Well, until next time, bye!